Yachatz, where we break the matzah, and we put the smaller piece back. And that's the lechem oini that we told the story of Mitzrayim over. And the greater one is put aside for the Afikoman. The Chazdei David from Yachatz, the last Yachatz Rabbi before the war, there's very little Torah from him. But there are some pieces on the Haggadah that are printed in his father's Haggadah, the Shem Yishmol's Haggadah. He says an incredible word on Yachatz. He says every Jew has two parts to him, the outer part and the inner part. The outer part can be tainted, can be contaminated, can be affected, but the inner part of a Jew remains pure, untouched. No tumah could ever reach there. And it's the same thing with Klal Yisrael on a national level. We have an outer part that can be affected and tainted and fall into chait. And that's the part that goes into Golus. When we're worthy of Golus, that's the part that the Goyim could be shoyled over and control. The inner part of us that remains pure never goes into Golus. That part remains above Golus. The Goyim have no access, no touch, no control over that part. We break the matzah in half to signify these two halves of Klal Yisrael. The outer part and the inner part. The part that we put back in between the two matzahs, that's the external part. That's the part that went into Golus. That's the part that went into Mitzrayim. That's the lechem oini. The other part we hide for Afikoman. That's the hidden part of us that no guy could ever touch. That part never went into Mitzrayim. And that part is hidden for Afikoman. And that will be the part that will bring us to the ultimate redemption. And one can add that the part that we put aside for Afikoman, it's the bigger half. Because it's the bigger part of us that remains untouched and never went into Golus. And perhaps we do this at the very beginning of the Seder. In case a Jew walks into the Seder feeling, how is it possible for this Seder to redeem me? I'm so immersed in my own personal Golus, my own Yitzrei Hara. We remind him that you should know that the bigger part of you, the majority of you, never went into Golus, was never touched by your Yetzer Hara. So there's a lot that's above Golus that can be used to pull the rest of you out.